What if the biggest alien evidence on Earth isn't a spaceship at all? What if it's a translation? One word, read the wrong way, that turned ancient gods into astronauts and made millions believe humans were engineered on purpose. Tonight, we're going back to the first cities on the planet, to the clay tablets that started it all. And by the end, we will reveal something most people miss, what that famous word actually means, and why the real mystery might be even stranger. Picture this. Before skyscrapers, before empires, before history even had a name, there was a land between two rivers, the Tigris and Euphrates. Mesopotamia. To us, it's a map. To them, it was survival. Floods could feed you or erase you overnight. And then, humans started building cities, not villages, cities, organized streets, temples, law, trade, and, most importantly, writing. The Sumerians pressed symbols into wet clay like it was the world's first hard drive. Cuneiform. And here's the relatable part. They weren't writing poetry for fun. They were tracking grain, debts, land, arguments, basically ancient spreadsheets. But mixed into those everyday records were stories about beings who didn't sound human at all. Because the Sumerians didn't just believe in gods, they believed in gods who came down. And that's where the name Anunnaki enters the story and everything turns unsettling. In Sumerian belief, the universe wasn't random. It was a kingdom, heaven above, earth below, and powers in between. At the top was An, or Anu, the sky authority. Then Ki, the earth. And from that cosmic family came the Anunnaki, a group of divine forces tied to fate, authority, and the structure of the world. Now, here's where people feel that status emotion, because if you know this story, you feel like you're in on forbidden knowledge. Online, the Anunnaki aren't just gods. They're described like commanders, tall, powerful, unreachable, the kind of beings that don't ask, you obey. And that leads to the version of the story you've probably heard: a hidden planet, a returning orbit, a desperate mission, and Earth as a resource. But what if that entire alien origin storyline didn't come from the ancient tablets the way people think it did? In the modern retelling, there's a planet called Nibiru, said to swing close to Earth every 3,600 years. Its rulers, the Anunnaki, are supposedly facing catastrophe, climate collapse, failing crops, a dying atmosphere. Their solution? Gold. Not for jewelry, but like a cosmic filter, a shield, a purifier. Something that could stabilize their world. So they arrive on Earth as the first astronaut gods, build their base in Mesopotamia, and begin mining. But the most shocking part of this story isn't the gold. It's what happens next. The workers, often described as another group, sometimes called the Igigi, snap. They rebel. They burn. They wage what some people call the first war on Earth. And when the rebellion is crushed, the gods do what desperate rulers always do. They look for a new labor force, one that won't rebel, so the story claims they create it. The legend says the Anunnaki mixed their essence with early humans, turning wild, fragile creatures into a controllable hybrid, not fully free, not fully aware, just intelligent enough to work. The first successful one is often called Adamu, a name that instantly hits a nerve because it echoes across later religions like a shadow. And then comes the garden motif, an advanced enclosure, a sacred city, a perfect place where humans are allowed to serve but not multiply too much. Of course, they do. Humans grow, families spread, the population surges, and the gods, angered or afraid, push them out. Exile begins. And then the skies change, the waters rise, and the world resets in a flood. In the modern version, Nibiru returns. Gravity destabilizes Earth, ice melts, rain doesn't stop, cities drown, survivors cling to boats, or something described like boats. And after the disaster, the gods depart, leaving behind knowledge, architecture, math, music, kingship, and temples aligned to the stars, ziggurats like giant beacons. Now, here's the reveal reversal. Remember the open loop? That one word that turned gods into aliens? Anunnaki is often presented online as those who came from heaven to earth, but in mainstream scholarship, it's generally understood more like offspring of Anu, a divine lineage, not a NASA program. And Nibiru, in many academic interpretations, it's not a hidden planet beyond Pluto at all. The term is closer to a crossing point, sometimes associated with celestial markers, often connected to major visible planets or sky positions in later Mesopotamian astronomy. Not necessarily a rogue world on a 3,600-year timer. So the real mystery isn't, did aliens mine gold? It's, why does this story feel so believable to us? Maybe because civilization did rise fast. Maybe because floods did devastate ancient Mesopotamia. Maybe because humans crave an origin story that makes our strange intelligence feel explained. So what do you think? Are the Anunnaki misunderstood gods? A modern myth built on ancient symbols? Or a warning that we've forgotten how our story began?